While there are countless ways to keep your home heating and cooling bills down, insulating with ultra-touch cellulose insulation is the quickest, easiest, and greenest way to start seeing immediate savings on your energy bills. Ultra-touch cellulose insulation has excellent thermal efficiency. Its density provides noise suppression, and it's made from 85% post-consumer recycled paper, making it the most responsible choice. The key to the success of cellulose insulation is its density. Your home is full of odd-shaped cavities made up of plumbing, air ducts, wiring, and studs. Cellulose insulation is able to work into every crack and crevice between the studs. The batted insulation, on the other hand, is difficult to fit snugly against the studs, leaving a gap that can be costly on your energy bill. One of the most important considerations when choosing your insulation is safety and health. Cellulose insulation doesn't contain fibers that can cause itching and skin irritation, and federal government health warnings are not required on any bag of cellulose insulation. Despite its clear advantages, there are a few myths about cellulose that alternative insulation product manufacturers want you to believe. Let's set the record straight. Myth number 1. Sound. Sound insulating properties are important to consider when choosing the right insulation for your home. Cellulose does a particularly good job of controlling sound because of its high density. In fact, its density is nearly twice that of other blown insulation products. In this demonstration, we use a noise generator to test the sound insulating properties of the fiberglass insulation and United Fiber cellulose insulation. When completely encapsulated in fiberglass insulation, the sound is lowered significantly. But remember, when installed between the studs, this insulation leaves those gaps that allow for even more noise transmission. Now we encapsulate the noise generator in the natural cellulose fibers. Notice how the sound is dramatically reduced. Unlike the fiberglass insulation, which was being squeezed into a denser form than usual, this test accurately reproduces the cellulose's noise reduction properties. Myth number 2. R-value. An insulation's R-value is the measure of how well it resists the flow of heat. Most people assume R-value is the universal method of comparing insulations. The higher the R-value, the better the insulation, end of story. However, not all R-values are created equally. In this demonstration, we're testing the insulating properties of two products, fiberglass and cellulose, both with the same R-value. As heat is applied to both, it quickly becomes apparent that the United Fiber's natural cellulose insulation has superior performance. The fiberglass insulation is considerably hotter in the chamber and as it exits. Because of the density of cellulose, less air is able to find its way through, which means less heat is able to get through. The fiberglass insulation is letting more air through with enough force to blow out this flame at the back side of the box. Myth number 3. Fire. Let's be honest, the first thing a lot of people assume about cellulose is that it's more flammable than other insulation products because it's made from paper. The truth is that United Fiber cellulose has a Class A fire rating. Cellulose insulation is actually treated with sophisticated fire retardants that make it very resistant to fire. Most other traditional insulations, on the other hand, actually have a very low melting or combustion point. Some insulation will actually melt from the heat given off by the fire before the flames even touch it. Because these insulations allow so much airflow, cavities become convection chambers that literally pump oxygen to the fire. There's no more eye-opening way to demonstrate this difference than with a test called the penny burn. With only a handful of cellulose between the hand and a flame, we're able to completely melt this penny before the heat even gets uncomfortable. Then take a look at the result. The cellulose never caught on fire, and if you peel back the top layer that was exposed to the flame, the insulation underneath is untouched and in perfect condition. With United Fiber's own blower system, installation of cellulose is much easier than traditional bat insulation. Instead of cutting and hauling large, cumbersome bats up into the attic, all you need is the hose. Position the machine outside the house on a level surface in close proximity to where the hose can enter the attic. Secure 100 feet of blowing hose to the machine with a hose clamp. Open the slide gate and adjust to maintain a constant flow of insulation material. Then reinsert the locking pin. Refer to the manual for all applications. Ensure all of the controls are in the off position. Use a 12-3 extension cord no longer than 50 feet to connect the machine's power cord to a dedicated circuit. To power up the machine, first turn the blower switch to the on position, then the agitator switch. When turning off the machine, first switch off the agitator, then the blower. Open a bag of insulation and hand feed the material into the hopper. Do not let the plastic bag or other foreign objects fall into the hopper. Do not force feed the insulation. When complete, blow all insulation out of the hopper, clean the system, and return it to the store you obtained it from. Ultra Touch cellulose insulation is hands down the best way to save money on your heating and cooling. It's a responsible green alternative to other traditional insulation. And it's one of the safest ways to protect homes and the families inside them. From sound insulation to fire protection, Ultra Touch cellulose insulation is the clear choice.